Hi guys, welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. What I'm going to be talking about today is the biggest time wasters. Now, I'm not talking about things you're already familiar with like spending too much time on your phone or binging on television series. No. What I'm going to be talking about is things we do practically every day which kill our productivity and we're not even aware of them. Before I go on, I want to ask that if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe now. And if you know anybody who will be interested in hearing the content I share on my channel, kindly refer the channel to them. So now let's get started on what these big time wasters are. Right. The first biggest time waster I have on my list is eating too much. Yeah, I know a lot of you are going to say, how is eating too much a big time waster or even a time waster at all? And I'm going to explain to you. From what I know, we're meant to eat to nourish our bodies, not necessarily to derive some kind of pleasure from, well, the eating process, which is what a lot of us tend to do these days. We're actually meant to eat to live, not live to eat. So, if you think about this scenario, you're served a plate of food. Ideally, it should take you 20 to 30 minutes to, well, finish the food. But because you load your plate with a lot of food, you find out that you spend 45 minutes, maybe even up to an hour eating. So that's 30 minutes extra eating. Now, 30 minutes for one meal, 3 meals a day gives you 90 minutes every day you spend extra eating. Something else is when you eat a lot, your body wants to relax, and in some cases, you may even start feeling sleepy. So let's think about it. You start feeling sleepy, you take a nap, say an hour. If you add that hour to the extra 1.5 hours eating, that's 2.5 hours every day that you spend doing nothing productive. Now let's average it out and say 2 hours every day. 2 hours every day, 7 days a week, gives you 14 hours every week that you spend doing nothing productive. And that's 64 hours in a month, which you could have used for something productive. So think about it next time you want to load your plate with food. You just might be killing your productivity. The second biggest time waste I have on my list is responding to all alerts on your phone. Now, I know we all know that spending too much time on your phone is, yeah, well, a waste of time. But then how do you get to that point where you're spending too much time on your phone? One thing you should know, and I'm sure you do know, is that your phone was made for you. You were not made for your phone. And so you're really not meant to be responding to every alert on your phone. You're really not meant to be attending to your phone each time your phone demands your attention. So think about it. You're working on a task, you get a message on your phone, you take a look at your phone, and before you know it, you're spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes on your phone. And you're not just responding to the message you got, but because you see other things that you're interested in, it totally distracts you, takes your attention away from what you were doing. One thing I have done personally is for some applications on my phone, I only allow a display notification to come up when I get a new message. I don't allow a sound notification. So in that way, I'm working on something, a message comes in, I don't even know about it. I set aside some time during the day to go take a look at my messages. I review my messages, respond to what I need to respond to, and then I get back to work. That way, my productivity is not affected. So if you're looking for a quick way to boost your productivity, trust me, removing alerts on some applications on your phone is the way to go. Now, I'm not saying take away alerts on all apps or most apps. No, do it gradually so that you win yourself off it. It's actually easier that way. The third biggest time waster I have on my list is answering all phone calls. I know this is similar to the second one I mentioned, which is responding to all alerts on your phone, but this one is just a bit different. I know we get a lot of phone calls during the day, and some are quite important. Business calls, calls from family members, but we get a lot of social calls, and these social calls really add no benefit to us. Now, am I telling you to ignore these calls? The answer is yes. If it's not important, if it's not going to add any benefit to you, you could set aside some time later on in the day to respond to those calls. So instead of allowing those calls to distract you, you spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes really not gaining anything. Why don't you just ignore the calls and attend to them later on in the day? That way you can stay focused on whatever it is you are working on. Respond to the important calls when they come in. If it's not important, let it be, attend to it later. Right. The fourth biggest time waster I have is having too many friends. Yeah, I know you're going to say, what's Kayode talking about? So how many friends are we meant to have? If you ask me, I don't think anyone should have more than 2 to 3 real friends. I'm not talking of acquaintances, I'm talking of real friends, people who you love to spend time with on a regular basis. Now, if you keep too many friends, you're going to find out you're spending too much time with them. You're not adding any benefit to their lives, they're not adding any benefit to you. So what really is the point of keeping them as friends? So reduce your number of friends to only those who you can add benefit to, or who you can, well, benefit from. If anyone isn't doing either for you, just let them be. You don't have to spend time with them. Spending time with them really is a waste, and this is something you have to really think about. So think about people who you relate with constantly, who aren't adding any value to you, or who you are not adding value to. Let those people be, and you'll have more time to do a lot of productive stuff. Now, the fifth and last biggest time waster I have for us is working on too many projects. And this is something a lot of us are not aware of because we're ambitious. So we have a lot of goals, short-term goals, long-term goals, things we want to work on to help improve our business, things we want to work on for self-development. So we started it with a list of, say, 10 things we want to accomplish. And we find out at the end of the day that we only accomplish, say, 2 or 3 of these things. We start wondering, where did all the time go? The time didn't go anywhere. What has happened is we spread ourselves too thin and we're not productive. So this is what I think you should do. Identify those things which you see as critical for your growth or your success. Identify those things which you see as nice to have. Leave the nice to haves aside. Plan your day around doing things that will help you achieve those things you've identified as critical. That way, you're able to work efficiently, you are more productive, and you get quality results. Once you're done with that, you can move on to the next set of goals so that you don't end up working on so many things at the same time and not getting the kind of results that you want. So there you have it. That's 5 biggest time wasters which we probably were not even aware of. And trust me, if you implement any of the methods I have shared for eliminating these time wasters, it can help to significantly boost your productivity and improve your efficiency. Now, before I leave, if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe now. Also, please like the video. If you know anyone who will be interested in the kind of content I share, kindly refer my channel to them. And before I go, let me leave you with a quote. The quote says, "The opportunities God sends do not wake up those who are asleep." So let me repeat. The opportunities God sends do not wake up those who are asleep. And so if you're going to make use of opportunities, you have to be prepared and you also have to be alert. So be prepared and be alert. So until next time, take good care of yourself.